Hi, I'm Dr. Lance Knaub. Welcome to another episode of Moving Mountains. I'm here today with my friend Brent Antman, owner of Designs by Mitchell. Brent, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we've only known each other for 7 or 8 months, I guess.
Yeah.
We've just today spent 8 hours, driving back from an incredible mastermind in Vermont. I know we did a one-day, mastermind in New York City, which was incredible. So tell everyone about your journey to get here as a passionate designer, owning your own real estate with a beautiful family. Let us know a little bit about you personally, and maybe what sparked your inspiration for design.
So a lot of it's actually a kind of funny story. I had no intentions on being an interior designer. Kind of chose me at first. I always had a passion and loved like the architecture and building and different types of rigid and structural designs, and it always just kind of intrigued me. And as I was growing up, I started working when I was 11 years old. Kind of worked my way up through the kitchen system. Had the idea of being a cook, and it just didn't come to fruition. So we kind of went another route and got the service member kicked out of the house when my mom came home. So I wasn't able to go into the service and serve the country. So I decided to go to community college and try to figure out like what I wanted to do with my life, because I didn't really know at the time. So I went to community college. It was basically post-secondary high school. Played around more than I did what I was supposed to do, and ended up transferring out of there with a 1.6 GPA, and got into art school and started going down that path. And I always loved drawing and colors and color theories, and it always kind of interested me. And again, getting back to the drafting, I just like to draw. It was something that, like, when my hand moved, my brain was in sync.
Okay.
And it was like my little serenity. And a couple semesters in, they decided to say, all right, well, now it's time to go pick some fabrics and put some colors to your drawings. And at this time, we were just doing like architectural drafting, color theory, the things that like you just kind of figure with school. For art school, it would be the same. I had signed up to go for industrial design because as I was going through my community college career, I ended up working for a friend now and doing some drafting work, and we did a lot for architects. And it was just my personal experience. A lot of the people that they worked with at the time just were unstable in their lives and marriage, and reeked of cheap booze, and it gave me a false idea at the time, but that was just a little circle that I was in experiencing, and decided to go a little bit more of a fun route and go for industrial design. Lo and behold, they actually put me in interior design.
Okay.
And so when fabrics came, I was like, why am I picking fabrics? I'm supposed to be designing tools, machines, cars, more manly stuff.
Yeah.
And it went down, talked to them. We kind of figured it was too late for me to transfer without losing money, too late for me to like just give up. So I finished that semester, ended up on Dean's List.
Okay.
Graduated second in my class.
Okay. Nice
It
job.
just picked me.
Yeah.
So long story short, I kind of ended up, since I realized that it was my calling and I was good at it, I went and I worked for a design build firm. I would design 3 days a week in the office, people's homes. From other days, 3 days, I was in the field hammering and carrying stuff. And it was one of the things is in our field is that it's, everybody thinks anybody can just do it. And, anybody can decorate. Anybody can decide to pick 2 colors and put them together, but do they really understand concept and flow? And do they really understand how things are put together? I can think of anything any day, but if I can't figure out how to make it go together, it's a waste of time.
Okay.
So working in the field really helps, and architects are fantastic, but sometimes it's not the way it ends up working out in the field, and the guys in the field have to refigure out how to build something.
And what sparked the company then?
Just so I was working, and the company I was working for at the time didn't really want me to move up anywhere. And at the time, I had finally met my now wife, Jen, and I just kind of knew she was the one, and wanted to get off retail hours and have time to be able to focus on relationship and family. Growing up, it was, my parents did what they could do, but it was our generation. They both worked. There was no real balance. There was no intentional time except for the default day off, and where it was appreciated, but it was still, we weren't able to do certain things. If our friends were doing things, like, no, this was the day. Mom was off, so we had to stay home to do that.
So you saw the business as a solution to having more lifestyle freedom and better financial freedom, better life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want somebody telling me when I can't go see my daughters play or do dance or gymnastics or
You do a good job with that, really making sure you get to those things, because a lot of these forces are in conflict. A lot of people start a business and then they're, instead of working 40 hours a week, they're working 2 or 3 times that.
Yeah. I definitely have had my struggles with it.
Yeah.
My wife has definitely told me when.
Well, we're gonna talk about how you avoid burnout and stay healthy. So I know you've got some really happy clients. Our mutual friend Joe Evangeliste, doing his kitchen right now. How does Designs by Mitchell stand out from other design firms, and why do your customers love you so much?
So kind of like I was telling you, how when I went and finally realized that I was in interior design.
Yes.
And after doing all the drafting for architects and other institutions, like when I was going to community college, it's just, everything was very plain and boring. Like, I got to draw, but it was this house plan, this idea, but we want this room to be 2 feet bigger this way, 1 foot bigger that way. This room has to move there, and that's that. So it's like there was no real excitement and fun, and it was just looking at black and white lines all day at a computer screen and going out of your mind with just, if it wasn't for the music, there was nothing else. So I wanted to have more fun and more freedom. I like to kind of play around, and I like to think that I'm creative with a lot of things. So it just, when I was told that I wasn't able to take management position, and I was kind of given like a little assistant type title to try to appease me for the time, it really didn't make much of a difference, and it just got to the point where we started talking about having a kid, and again, like, I didn't want to be that absent parent that I had and make her have to do my schedule. So I just got to the point where at the time it was like I never had a salary job. Everything was always commission, and I always have felt it was the best way to go because I was the only one capping my income. And it got to the point where, their team of installers would make mistakes but would be billed back to me. So why am I responsible for the guy that you hired to do the job that I closed?
So how's your model set up different right now?
So the way I kind of work is that I feel that it's a team process to complete a project, but it's also an individual sport because everybody has their own unique talents.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I do is I take my materials very personal. I think it's very important to have the knowledge of what products you are providing for people, because it's not about making something just look good. It's about making something practical.
Right.
And if it can't function the way that it's supposed to function and the way that you need it to function, there's really no point in doing it because you're just putting a Band-Aid on an existing problem.
Right.
And it's just going to show up after you tear that Band-Aid off.
Okay.
It looks good. You can't see the cut. You can't
Yeah.
see the blood. But eventually, when you take it off, there's still a scar.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, you have brand new cabinets, brand new beautiful kitchen, brand new beautiful backsplash, flooring, your bathroom, you have beautiful spa pieces. You create a sanctuary in there. And next thing you know, your dishwasher still doesn't function the way it's supposed to be because it's not on your right side. It doesn't flow the way your space goes.
Right.
It doesn't, your elements are still missing of practical storage and
Yeah.
useful spaces and non-wasted space or functional cabinets.
So besides function and beauty coming together, what's your process and how is it different than the norm? And I've had the benefit of working with some great designers. You know, Jody and I luckily connected with someone named Bruce Carter who helped us. You know, our motto was bringing fitness and physical therapy together, and we had a water wall in the entrance and ceramic tile in the bathrooms to make it beautiful, and it was a place where people wanted to spend their time. So yeah, I have a taste of working with talented people like you. Again, yeah, how's your process different than the industry norm?
So my process is all about knowledge. You know, it's like I was saying, you kind of, it looks good, but if it doesn't work the way it's supposed to
Yeah.
work, there's absolutely no point in spending the money on doing it.
Right.
So we talk about your wants and needs, which is the utmost important. And making those wants and needs function the way that you don't know they're supposed to function,
Yeah.
just know that that's something that is going to work out much better for you.
So you try to draw out people's visions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talk about it, and sometimes they give me pictures on Pinterest and house and send me, you know, their storybooks and stuff. And yeah, it's usually the same cabinet, same color,
Yeah.
same knobs and everything. You just kind of look at it, and next thing you know, you kind of get an idea of what they're thinking. And then after my site visit, and we talk about the space, and I ask what your likes and your needs and your wants and dislikes, and you know, I compare your ideas with your list of needs,
Yeah.
and you know, work through it with you. So it all starts with the measure, and then it moves to the showroom visit, and
Okay.
we'll review your plans.
Okay.
And I'll discuss why I did your kitchen this way and let you know my reason for where things are located. And usually after that, most people fall in love with it right away. Sometimes we have to make a couple tweaks here and there.
Of
We
course,
discuss
of
like, you know,
course.
sometimes we'll change like hoods and
Yeah.
things, but after we make little tweaks to the plan and personalize it and discuss a couple things here and there, we'll usually head downstairs and start looking at some materials. I'll talk about, you know, how the cabinets are finished,
Yeah.
how the tiles are finished, the
Okay.
different things with the flooring.
So you really walk people through the entire process.
Yeah.
So good. So Brent, amazing stuff. I love all that you're doing, really taking special care and being customer centric and client focused. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to hear how Brent not only has risen to the top of his industry and really pioneering and leading the field, but also how he gets through the valleys and low points. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Angela Pipersberg, and I have a new show here in RVN Television called The Angela Pipersberg Show. And I want you to join me every week as I sit with guests and we discuss their life journeys, share wisdom, and tips that will inspire you to live your best life. Don't miss The Angela Pipersberg Show every week here on RVN Television, where we're celebrating life and we're inspiring you to greatness.
Hi, I'm Dr. Esther Mullave, and welcome to my show, Achieving a Better You. Through this show, we're going to explore ways to make a better version of you. For example, nutrition, finance, fitness, health. Remember that there's always a way of making a better version of yourself, no matter what the circumstances are. And remember to look for Achieving a Better You show on RVN TV.
Some say the world has never been more divided, more self-centered,
Gosh, thank you so much.
more uncaring,
Thank you. Oh, miss. Thank you.
that we've never been more disconnected. But through our windows, we're able to see so much good every day. And it's clear that a little kindness is never really little.
Did you know that only 8% of people who set their goals, they actually succeed in achieving them? Well, if you want to be a part of that 8%, then you need to tune into Achieve with Wanda Martin, where I will teach you tips, tools, and strategies on how to achieve your goals in any field and on any level. So tune in, watch me on the RVN network on how to achieve your goals and be a part of that 8%.
Hi, I'm Angela Pipersberg, and I have a new show here in RVN.
Welcome back to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with Brent Antman. Brent, so much good stuff on design, and I'm so glad that people with your talent exist, because I know my limits, and when it comes to design, I've got little to no talent. So
That's all right.
thank goodness for people like you. So tell us, we talked about all the big things you're doing with your growing design firm and how you're really, taking people through the process so that you're literally helping them create their dreams. How do you get through the valleys and the tough points, including any mindset strategies?
My family, really.
Yeah.
I lucked out. I have an amazing wife and wonderful daughter. They really always have my back and support me. When I decided to go out on my own, my wife is a wonderful woman. She said, if I need to get a part-time job to help make this work, I'll get a part-time job. And I told her, you're never going to get a part-time job, and I'm going to retire you before you need to.
That's great.
And there's struggles. I mean, it's hard. When I care a lot about my work and the way things should be, and when you work with people that don't always see a vision or take the time to really appreciate how things should be done or rush through a job, you bring it home because you have your client and everybody's upset.
Sure.
And even when just the way to work gets too much, it's really getting into reading and working on a lot of self-development and personal growth, for my family because of the support that they've showed me, and trying to not bring those weights home with you.
Yeah.
It's, you take that decompression time, on your way home. Fortunately, it's the only time that I enjoy traffic.
Yeah.
Because you
Well,
get to clear it.
Yeah, totally. This kind of leads into the next thing I love to tap into, entrepreneurs' wisdom, because there's such a massive problem with burning out, right? And that's a passion. I got sick even as a physical therapist and personal trainer. How do you stay healthy and, recharged, with a young family and a really fast growing business, including how much sleep you get on average? No pressure.
Not enough. Never enough sleep.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that I always took a priority of. This is something that, actually since we've really met each other and joining GoBundance and being around people that took, mental health and, focus a priority, because if you can't be your best self for yourself, you can't be that for your family or your clients or your friends. So, really slowing down, asking myself, is this something that I can really change in this moment? Instead of just dwelling on the situation, it's really kind of helped slow me down and take a breath and, I've been kind of working on some meditation.
Fantastic. I know you have that tool. What's it called?
Yeah, I got this neat tool. It's called Muse.
Muse, yes.
It like reads your brain waves.
Yeah.
And the first time I did it, it got quiet. And I was just like, that's amazing. And I started getting loud because it goes rains, and then you can't stop thinking about it. And you're like, stop raining. But it's just, so it's as an entrepreneur and a business owner, it's very tough to turn your mind off.
Sure.
And if it wasn't for reading and talking with people, just picking up little tricks, I now keep a notebook with me all the time.
Yeah.
It's when I'm trying to read and something pops in my head, I use that notebook to write it down.
Okay.
When I'm in the middle of focusing on something and working on somebody's project and somebody calls me, I write it down so that I don't forget where I'm at. Quiet time has really done a lot for me.
And how about lifestyle? Exercise, nutrition, and the sleep. I'm not going to let you slip away with that.
Yeah. Sleep is always an improvement. There's never enough of it.
How much sleep would you say you get on average?
On average, I'm probably between 5 to 7.
Okay, that's a big swing.
Yeah, it is. It also depends on what time my daughter decides to come in the morning. So,
okay,
she's an early bird. Fortunately, she's learning how to tell time. So,
how about the exercise and nutrition part?
I make it a point to, now worry about myself.
Okay, good.
Last year, my wife and I, we were big campers, and we do a big road trip. And our first big road trip, we went down to the Keys and back, and I was quite a bit bigger than I am now, and I was like, I'm not doing another hot vacation. We're going to Maine. So when we went up to Maine, I was thinking the whole time, I got to climb that mountain. My daughter and my wife Jen, love to climb, so it was a goal for me to shed that weight and get into there. To be able to do that, and we started going for walks every day. Most of the times, no matter how cold it was, they always didn't come out in the rain, but we always went for a walk, and we always talked as a family.
Was that Mount Katahdin in Maine?
No, we went to Arcadia.
Okay.
So we were climbing up to Boulder Rock, and there was I can't remember the other mountain, but it was.
I was also in Maine last year, and it was it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's an amazing place. I just didn't want to be that guy sitting up halfway.
Well, we definitely have to talk more about your RV adventures. I know that's a passion of yours. Can you give us an example of a project that you did that you really want to highlight, and you came up with a unique solution?
So there's quite a few, but there's always one that really sticks out in my mind. It was actually, I just got finished doing their second kitchen after they moved.
Okay.
They were one of my first jobs when I first opened up.
Yep.
They were working with the contractor that I do a lot of work for.
And what does your average / ideal client look like?
So I do a lot of work with contractors and builders and developers. I have, because of my construction knowledge and my training, I don't sell anything that I don't know how to install.
Okay.
Because people need to be educated.
Okay.
So, it's, you kind of just work with the contractors and those builders and their clients. They tend to bring them with them to me.
Okay.
And
I interrupted you on this. Tell us this project.
So it was one of my contractors that had brought a client to me, and the Burris's. They were one of my favorite people to work with. Not only was she, ecstatic after I showed her the concept that I came up with her, and for her space, we took down a wall. We put almost like a little buffet type center, but we did this beautiful glass that she absolutely fell in love with as a whole feature, and we lit it for a hanging picture around it. I built an island for her that would sit 8 people, so that when the kids and grandkids came over, there was enough room for everybody. And not only did she fall in love with it and express a huge amount of gratitude in just her body language when I showed her the design before it was even completed, when the kitchen was done, she cried. And that's why I do it, because not everybody's going to cry, but to know that I'm able to affect somebody in a space that they've been working so hard to achieve. You know, it's not like your kitchens and your baths and new flooring are a cheap thing to do.
Yeah,
It's
where you're spending your
big
time, where you're
expense.
spending your life. No, it's so important. That's amazing. No, I'm sure you've had a lot of your clients cry with, you know, satisfaction and joy when you're done. If you bring their vision to reality, that's so special. So help us, for all the entrepreneurs watching, how can, you know, who want to achieve the highest levels of success and climb the highest mountains in their life and business, what are your best boiled down thoughts on how they can do that?
Just do it, first of all. If you, it's one of the things with reading and learning, and you know, and I always tell my daughter, if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you won't.
So true.
And you know, if you think that you can do it and you have the desire and the passion behind you to do something that you love doing, you know, buckle down, figure it out. You know, figure out where you need to be and who you need to put yourself around, what you need to learn, what you don't need to learn. Figure out the qualities about you that make you the best, and try to surround yourself with people that do what you don't do the best better than you, so that your level of expertise and excellence and expectations that your clients expect from you, you expect from your team. And when you surround yourself with that, you have everybody doing the thing that they love. Like, I love designing. I don't love doing paperwork. So you want to do your best thing. Learn, soak up the knowledge, surround yourself with people that are going to support you. We just spent, you know, the past 3 to 4 days together, and to be with somebody that is going to support you and, you know, understand where you're at and what your next move that you want to do, that you might not know how to take that leap and that step. You know, somebody's already been there, and to have that person, you know, either reassure you that you have the right thought and you're going in the right direction, or they're going to suggest maybe a slightly better way or another way to think about things. And having somebody look at you from the outside and be able to relate to you on the inside it's the most supportive thing and best thing that you can do for yourself, trying to move up in the world and take care of your family and do everything that you want to accomplish.
Yeah, you make me think about, the importance of mentorship and coaching, and I've been lucky to have some great mentors and role models in my life. Before you share how people can find you, follow you, you talked a lot about personal and professional development. Maybe you can give us one book recommendation and or podcast recommendation, and then tell us, how people can follow you, find you, and I think you might even have a special offer, and for contractors as well.
Yeah.
You definitely let everybody know.
Absolutely. So I'm actually currently reading Limitless by Jim Quick.
Yeah.
It's, you know, us entrepreneurs, we have that mind that you just can't shut off. And, you know, as I was saying earlier about keeping a notebook with me, you know, that was a thing that I read from him. And it was, you know, just like us had to overcome, you know, struggles and, you know, limiting thoughts and, you know, just figuring out ways to do things to make yourself better. And, you know, something as simple as bringing a notebook with me. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Like, so, and it goes much deeper than that. And there's a lot of really good things in there that I have put to use.
Great book. I just encourage / incentivize my kids to read the book. So.
Yeah, I can't wait till Taylor's old enough to be able to.
Yeah.
It's a great thing, and just watching her develop. You know.
She's 4.
6.
Oh, she's 6. Okay.
Yeah, turns quick.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So tell everybody how they can follow you, and any offers that you have.
You can visit us at DESIGNSByMitchel.com. Designs has an S. Mitchell is spelled with 1 L. Everybody likes to put 2. I'm also on Facebook. We have to update our Instagram. I'm still trying to figure out how to use that one, but we'll get there. We
Maybe
have
Taylor can help.
Yes, Taylor probably helped me sooner than I can figure it out myself. And then we also are on House, and you know, we are reachable. My email is brent@designsbymitchel.com.
Brent at Designs by Mitchell.
We are also offering, for anybody that reaches out to us, 50% off of your retainer, your design retainer.
Okay, for people that see the show, right?
Yeah,
very nice.
All you have to do is mention, you know, yourself or Moving Mountains.
Very
and,
cool.
as well as the contractors. You know, we're very big on being that support and that team for the contractors that are excellent at their craft, have an idea of what to do and how to do it, but don't really have the ins and outs of things or the time or the patience to really sit there and pick colors and materials
Sure.
and to learn that extra knowledge about
Right,
them.
that's a whole different world.
It is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We'll make sure everyone finds you, follows you, and all your goodness. Thanks for that special offer. And yeah, appreciate all your wisdom and knowledge today. So
Yeah,
thank you so
thanks.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on Moving Mountains.